this exciting ground. Do you need a healthcare plan that listens to you? Be assured, we've got you. For us, as always, this is about impacting lives. And to launch our journey into this exciting ground, we created Leadway Health as the partner you need. Leadway Health adds new dimensions to health insurance as you know it. The services are flexible and mobile. Now, let's talk about the plans. The Leadway Group Health Plan targets macro enterprises, corporates such as local and multinational companies, agencies, and other bodies. Take, for example, Rockwell Company, whose HR representative, Musa, wastes a big part of his work hours sorting billing issues. The Leadway Group Health Plan stops that and will ensure Musa, and by extension, Rockwell Company, will no longer have to worry about mix-ups and long conflict resolutions. Most of our health insurance plans come with baby wellness programs and multi-trip travel insurance with COVID-19 cover. In addition, we offer free employee assistance programs to keep employees out of the hospital. This includes added benefits that cover psychological consultations for insomnia, depression, and other conditions relating to mental wellness. This gesture also extends to free psychological evaluations during recruitment. Our onboarding process is seamless and stress-free for you to opt in, so you can keep track of your health and insurance status.
For more information and questions, call 01-280-1051 or visit our website at www.leadway.com. You can also send us an email at healthcare@leadway.com.
Invest in the peace of mind you deserve today, only with Leadway Health.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I see that quite a bit of us have joined up on the live, and we're not going to waste any time at all. We're going to jump right in. Welcome to our live LinkedIn session celebrating World Health Day, today, the 7th of April, 2021. Now, every year, the date is celebrated to create awareness about health and well-being, and draws the attention of people from all around the world to specific important health issues. Now, especially with the uncertainties of these constantly evolving times. I mean, see how 2020 became the COVID year, even though COVID is called COVID-19, but 2020 essentially was the year that it hit all of us hard, and it was an unprecedented situation. Nobody expected it. You know, some people were able to live healthier lives and they had access to better healthcare services, while some were facing difficulty fighting back. You know, so these situations have made us realize the actual importance of planning and securing our health above all other necessities of life. I mean, food is important, water is important, you know, schooling, education, all of that are important, but our health is very important. Now, that is what the World Health Day is about. And since taking effect in 1950, the celebration has aimed to create awareness of a specific health theme. You know, and the health theme is a high priority area of concern for the World Health Organization. Now, the 2021 theme for the World Health Day this year is to ensure that everyone everywhere realizes the right to good health. The theme of the World Health Day 2021 is building a fairer, healthier world. On this important day, the WHO organizes various events to draw the global attention to subjects that are of utmost importance in the health sector. Now, we've talked about how the World Health Day focuses on mental health, maternal health, childcare, climate change, the importance of healthcare workers, especially with COVID-19 and all its shenanigans. And all of these issues are being brought to the forefront today. And essentially, it's really just to spread awareness about how we can live a better lifestyle and how we can live a disease-free life. Now, to speak about the theme of the World Health Day for 2021, I have two amazing panelists with me that are joining me this afternoon. Kaosara Abdulkareem and Dr. Olumuyiwa Odubasson. Now, I'll tell you a bit about them. Kaosara is an experienced HR professional with over 15 years experience in the human resources spectrum, where she has recorded tremendous achievements in people management and in transformation. She currently leads the team. She's also an HR business partner for support services functions and associate companies under the Leadway group. Kaosara is currently an internal coach, where she uses her skills and competencies of coaching to help employees achieve optimal performance at all levels. She's excited with new challenges, and she believes that each comes with an opportunity to learn and grow. Dr. Olumuyiwa Odubasson graduated with an MBBS qualification from the Babcock University, Lishan-Remo, where he also served as the president of the Medical Students Association in 2016/17. Muyiwa did his internship under the Lagos State Service Commission in 2018 to 2019, after which he worked as a care coordinator with the Red Care HMO before joining Leadway Health. He's an outstanding medical doctor. He's result-driven. He's a result-driven health service manager with allied experience, proven track record of coordinating quality healthcare delivery and business performance improvement. He currently works as a wellness and case manager at Leadway Health. Lady, gentlemen, you are welcome. If the host can please have the images of my panelists up, please. Yes, there we are. Kaosara, please say something. Hi,
thank you, Bumi.
Please say something. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Kaosara,
Bumi. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Awesome. I'm very well, thank you. If you could please say something to our teaming audience. We have about 22 people who have joined us so far. So if you could please say a few words to them as an introduction to what they should expect in our conversation this afternoon. Kaosara, you first, and then Miwa.
Okay, thank you so much, Bumi. Thank you so much. I would like to start by saying Happy World Health Day to everyone on this call, and globally, Happy Health Day for everybody. I'm so happy to be joining. I feel so excited about this, having involved in medical issues over my 15 years of experience in HR. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaosara. Muyiwa, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here and really excited to be talking on a very interesting topic on a day like this. I mean, we can't underemphasize the need to have a good workforce and to sustain that. So in summary, I'll be giving tips on how to make sure that you have a sustainable workforce. Thank you very much.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We're going to jump right into the conversations. Kaosara, I will start with you. So one of the questions that we have, one of the talking points that we're going to be discussing today is, what are the steps? What would you say are the steps to building a healthy workforce? If you are going to speak to the HR managers that I'm sure are on this call, and to employees to let them know what to be looking out for, what would you say are the steps that one can take as business owners, as HR managers, to build a healthy workforce?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Olubunmi. Thank you so much for that. Okay, before I dive into the step to building and sustaining a healthy workforce, I would like to start by explaining why do we even need to have a healthy workforce? Why is it important to have a healthy workforce? So a healthy workplace is a place where you have staff promote good health, where you have employees put in good behavior, healthy behavior in an organization. Is a place where we have a safety, where we have collaboration, where we promote creativity and innovation. When we have all this in place, we have employees who are highly motivated, who are agile, who are ready to work, who are willing to work together. And at the end of the day, we have high productivity, and it positively impacts the bottom line. That's the whole essence of every organization. To have a very agile employee, to have committed employee who will work with goals and objectives of every organization. So why do we invest in organizational health? Why do we invest in workplace health? There are steps we involve in building and sustaining workplace health. So like I used to say, we solve people issue with people. We don't just dive into what do we do to achieve good health employee or good employee well-being. We involve people. We engage people to know what we are going to do. So in our case, we engage people. There is engagement one-on-one with team, with through survey to get what employee will need as well-being is concerned. So after that, we have on board employee initiatives. There are a lot of employee initiative, well-being initiative that we put in place. So that's the next step after the engagement with employee. And how do we do that? That brings on board what employee will require, what are their needs, because what will motivate me is different from what will motivate you. So as a mother, I would like to see something around what will motivate, how my children and family will benefit from. And also as a single employee, you also want to see something that will also motivate. Because of that, we engage people and then we institute well-being program. So part of what we did is EAP. EAP means Employee Assisted Program, when we have people key into the mental health initiative that will put on board in the organization. So first and foremost, during the pandemic, and you will believe me that pandemic hit everybody globally, especially in this part of the world that we are struggling economically and politically. So what do we do for our workforce? We engage on over 2 weeks employee assisted program when we are doing mental health seminar, with mental health workshop. We brought seasoned professionals, seasoned mental health experts to talk to our staff. And that engagement brought a lot of things, a lot of discussion came up, and there was also a follow-up discussion after that. So aside that, we also have what we call virtual fitness, where we have our staff key into virtual exercise. You do that in the comfort of your rooms with good music. We catch fun while you keep fit and safe as well. So aside that, we also create awareness. A lot of awareness took place during this period, and that's one of our strengths. So we ensure there is bottom-up, top-down communication, both-way communication to ensure people who are aware, employees are aware around work well-being initiative that we put in place. We'll also encourage employees to key into well-being plan. There are a lot of communication, like I said, around a lot of information. And I think the best an employee can have is good and quality information. But there are a lot of information out there that you can't even trust. But when you have when you have a communication plan, a good channel where staff can get their information and a right one, quality one at that, we put that in place. And aside HR, we also have business continuity plan committee that also help in this regard. Line manager too is not left out to help in ensuring we have a healthy workplace. So we did all this, and again, there's a culture of collaboration also helps. So there's steps that we took in ensuring we have a healthy workplace. Collaboration where people can work together, where people can have the interest of the other colleague or their colleague at heart. So I would like to stop there for now so that my other colleague can pick up from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaosara. Olumuyiwa, do you want to add anything to what Kaosara has said?
Well, I guess I'll be, in this case, coming from the medical aspect, as I am a doctor. So I would just like to emphasize on the fact or the importance of ensuring a healthy workforce. I mean, yes, I work in an insurance company where we manage clients who are actually staffs of different companies. And our goal is to ensure or to promote preventive medicine. So in as much as you have health insurance, we're also trying to make sure that in the first place, you don't even come down with all the diseases or the different conditions that will have you go to the hospital. Now, how do we ensure that?
Let me interrupt you just a bit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can.
Okay. You can hear me now, right? Sorry, let me just use this properly. So that, is it better now?
Yes, I can.
Awesome stuff. So I wanted to just interrupt you just for a bit. Now, I was making notes of the steps that Kaosara was talking about with regards to building a healthy workforce. What are the steps to building a healthy workforce? And she mentioned about engagement, ensuring top-down engagement, top-down communication. She mentioned about well-being initiatives. So for HR managers and business managers, business owners, they need to be well-being initiatives. They need to ensure that good and quality information is being passed on to their staff. I remember when we had the NSAS protests. There was a lot of information from HR about where to go, where not to go, where what was burning. you
Absolutely.
know um, exactly. So it's very important that um, quality information and authentic information is being passed
Information.
to staff, yes, from HR, and ensuring that there's a good business continuity plan, and there's collaboration top down and across the board. So we were, from a health perspective, you know, and mentioning and bearing in mind all of these things that Kausara has spoken about, what are the things you think that an HR, or from your experience, an HR manager or a business owner should be considering when they are putting together the platform and the template for ensuring that they have a healthy workforce?
Okay, so I feel like the first thing or the most important thing is knowing, well, I would say like a little info of about the type of workforce you have, the type of people you are
Right,
employing. Yes, like
right.
what kind of things would they be needing exactly. So if you're employing someone, for example, and then you're not making appropriate reservations for the various things that would help them even achieve that purpose that you're bringing them on board for, then I feel like you're missing out on a big deal, because you would only be having people work for you, giving you results, and at the same time not
Yeah.
living healthy. So I feel like you need to first pay attention to the kind of staff you have,
Stuff that you have.
know what
Mm,
they need. So it's all about meeting them halfway. I mean, you might not be able to
Absolutely.
meet all their needs, you might not be able to do all that, but at the same time, the point is you're making efforts. And another important factor is the feedback process. I feel like that's very key. I don't think that the HR team will always know it all. And
right.
there has to be that opportunity for you to get feedbacks from your staff, and which other person is better positioned to find that out other than the HR team. So I feel like they serve as intermediaries between the staff and the management. So it's all about making sure that there are avenues for your staff to give you their feedbacks, give you suggestions on how to make the workforce healthier,
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah, thank you.
I like what you
Thank
said
you.
about creating a feedback mechanism that allows staff um, come back to either the HR manager or the business about what their
Absolutely.
needs are, and what the areas that need improvement, the areas that are challenging, the areas that can be done better. But what would you say, Muiwa, about a situation where staff might feel stifled, might feel like um they can't speak, the business doesn't allow for that kind of open communication? You have indicated that it is a vital part of creating the template that allows a healthy workforce, but how do you think so for me, the way I see it, I see it in two ways. On the part of the staff, it could be that they feel, okay, we can't speak up, we can't be open, we can't talk about what is really the issue,
Important.
and I'm speaking constructively here. I mean, it's not just about, okay, we want a pay raise, we want more money or whatever, but being able to
Yeah.
constructively explain what the issues are. That's on the one hand. And then on the other hand, what do you think that the staff can do if they're in a toxic environment, maybe toxic is a strong word, but in an environment where they don't feel heard. Let's say that if they find themselves in an environment where they don't feel heard, what do you think they can do? And then on the other side, for a business that truly wants to listen to its staff, truly wants to hear what their challenges and concerns are, what are the things you think they can put in place to open up the way to make sure that that happens?
Well, I feel like introducing now, how would I put it now? I'm looking for the better way to express it. So it's not every time that you need to say something. Now I'm talking about the staff. You don't have to have some way to talk, or you don't have to direct. Let me put it this way: you don't have to direct your queries straight to the management. I feel like there's a chain or or a channel involved. I mean, if I am working somewhere, I have a line manager, and the line manager probably has the head of department, and then it goes on and on like that. So I don't feel like it's every complaint that I am walking straight into the HR's office to say, oh, you know what, this is my complaint. Or it's every time that I have to go straight to the MD's office to say, no, I have a problem with the company and I need to say it. So it's all about the relationship. So for you can just, for the business owners, you can create opportunities for social interactions. Now, it's not just about work. I mean, some people on selected days decide to go on a retreat, like a company hangout and all that. So those are like different initiatives to just have people air out like their opinions about different things in the company, like in a different way. So it doesn't have to seem like, you know what, in the office you can't talk. No one is allowed to talk, no one is allowed to complain. This is just coming like, oh, we're interacting and then I'm giving you suggestions and you're just picking ideas on things you can actually do to improve the workforce. So I feel like that's a win-win for both sides, for the business owners and also for the staff. So that's an important factor. Yeah. So just creating an avenue that doesn't actually seem like, oh, there's a mailbox that you can go and drop a query if you have a query. No, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be that official. It can be an unofficial way of just interacting. I mean, so people introduced TGIF on the last Fridays of the month. So it's just an opportunity to get a feel of your staff. So for the business owners, you're learning about your staff. You're seeing them in another field, in another way, other than the normal work environment and everything. So it's just an opportunity for you to even learn more about your staff. So I feel like business owners can key into that.
Fantastic. Kaosara, if you could just chip in also, because he has spoken to Muiwa has spoken to the business side, but Kaosara, if you could just speak to the staff side as well. How do you think staff, in your experience, can make their voices heard if they're in a situation where they feel stifled or they feel like for whatever reason they can't talk?
Thank you so much, Bumi. So I would like to start this by saying it all depends on the type of leadership structure every organization has. The leadership structure is very, very key. So aside that, how is HR also structured? It all depends on that as well. So in our case here, we have a lot of channel of communication that encourages open communication, that encourages feedback. So one is the line manager that Dr. Muyiwa has mentioned. You have your line manager to talk to. So we are building the line manager in such a way that they are coaches.
Let me interrupt you for just a bit. What if they're afraid of the line manager? What if there's a fear? What is the fear of management? What is the fear of life?
I agree.
I mean, you're looking at a good, an ideal situation.
Yes.
They should follow the chain of command, like Muyiwa mentioned, not just decide to go all the way up to management. But what if there exists a fear of management? What if there's a fear of the line managers?
I agree.
What if it is let me use the word, what if it's a toxic environment? How do they make their voices heard?
I agree. Very well, I agree with you. So there are a lot of ways you can do that. So I'm just starting from the line manager. And my second sentence that I used was that you build your line manager to become coaches instead of becoming managers. So there are difference between managers and leaders. So we can't have it all. We have leaders, we have managers who are micromanaging their staff. So when we have leaders, you have transformational leaders, you have coaches, who are willing to support, to help their staff become better. So if you're not using line manager, we have other ways we can go about getting feedback from staff. You have your peer. We do what we call boarding system, where you have friend in the organization. We'll start that from the beginning of your employment in the company, where you have somebody you can talk to, somebody that you'll be comfortable with, that you can ask any question. So if you don't want to go through that channel, we also have the HRBP framework, HRBP structure. So the HRBP structure will also help you, because Dr. Olumuyiwa said, is all about relationship, and that's very, very key. It's all about relationship. So if you're not comfortable with your line manager, just like you said, it's a toxic environment. You should be comfortable with your body, your friend, your intimate person, your colleague, co-worker in the organization. If that is not there, you also have your HR business partner. So HR business partner, we'll have them for different businesses, where who you can go to and let them know how you are feeling. So it's not about having one box somewhere, suggestion box, that you are going to drop how you are feeling there. So, and again, we'll have other ways. We have one-on-one engagements. You have one-on-one engagements. You have focus groups. We have focus group, and ultimately at the end of every year, even sometimes we do it twice in a year, where we'll have employee satisfaction survey, and we'll also have employee engagement survey, where you can put down your mind. So instead of having to wait for 1 year to put down your mind, that is where we use the employee engagement survey. The confidentiality is very key, and we mention that always. You can put it there. We just did one recently, where we have staff pouring out what is in their mind, and we don't know anybody. You can't put a face to it. So there are lots of channels we can use to get honest feedback from staff, and for staff to also be open to let us know how they are faring in the organization. Thank you.
Kaosara, you're such an HR person. You revetted to the HR position, and I wanted you to speak from I am the oppressed staff. I'm the one that can't talk. I'm the one that has a fear of you, Kaosara, are the one that has a fear of your line manager. You can't talk, and you want your voice to be heard. So if you're going to speak as the one being quote unquote oppressed, how do you do it? And what if you are in an environment where you don't have these structures, you don't have the TGIS, you don't have you don't have a BP, an HR BP, you don't have all these structures that allow you, because all of the structures you've mentioned are fantastic, but the reason I'm coming back to you is because they are company led. They are not they're from top down, not from bottom up. You understand? I know you mentioned that culture is important. I know that you mentioned that, and I agree with you. Culture is definitely important. The way the business, understands and manages things is very key. All of that is important. But I'm saying that if you find yourself in a situation where it is toxic, where these structures still need to be created. Yeah. So how do you do it?
Okay.
You know what I mean? How do you?
Okay. So let me say, you shouldn't even be in that environment in the first place. But by chance, you find yourself in that environment.
Yeah.
So one is self-management. So it now depends on you. Are you the type that can open up? Because this one is not a personality issue. So if I'm in that shoe, I should tell somebody very close to me. I should tell somebody very close to me who has the influence to help to hear the issue that I have, maybe with my line manager, maybe with HR, maybe with the company as a whole. So I should have somebody. There is no how. And I keep going back to what Dr. Olumuyiwa said around relationship. Relationship, you can't get it wrong with relationship. So if you don't have anybody to talk to, then there's something wrong. Like I said, you shouldn't be in that environment. Now you find yourself in that environment and there is no job anywhere. There is no job anywhere. So you have to do with what you have. So there is a way you have to manage yourself by either going to somebody that you trust so much that this person won't judge you. This person will listen to you and not judge you. and from there it can advise you on what to do. So if I'm able to confide in somebody who can tell me what to do, maybe, oh, you can meet with so person. Yeah, you can meet with the HR director, or meet with a commercial person, or meet with a strategy director to help you. There will be sort of information to help you. And if there is none, and that is what you have for now, like I said, you shouldn't be in that environment. And I'm not saying that you should resign without reasoning. Is just build yourself, build your mental toughness, and plan your exit in that organization. But for me, I'm going to engage somebody who will engage somebody who will engage somebody till my case is sorted. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. I mean, wonderful insights there. I've taken plenty notes. I shall come back to you. Sorry,
Okay.
Dr. Muyiwa, back to you. So a lot of these health issues, mental issues, even the state of the country, even Nigeria as a country is enough to give anybody health issues. That is the truth. You know, you're driving out in the morning. Yeah, you're driving out in the morning. You live in some far place. You know, you're coming, there's traffic. Before you come in, let me tell you a small story. I used to live I used to live very close to the office before I moved far away. And then the staff bus would come from Ikpaja, you know, all the Ikorodu. And by the time it gets to Palm Grove, everybody in the bus is sleeping. Like every single person. Only the driver is driving. Only the driver is awake. And I remember, and I will enter the staff bus. I'll be like, people will not sleep at home. Like, why is everybody sleeping? Why? It's a serious matter. When I started living at Ikorodu, that was when I understood the reason why. By the time the staff bus gets to Palm Grove, everybody has passed out. It's as if they just put on one sort of sleeping gas and everybody is out. Because when you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, how do you do it? You know what I mean? So my question for you, Muyiwa, is how do you manage work burnout? Because the fact that you've been in traffic and all of that doesn't negate the fact that you still have a job to do.
Yes.
So how do you do that job and not burn out? And when you do burn out, as happens, you know, every once in a while, how do you manage it?
All right. Thank you so much for me. I mean, I've been waiting for the question, but yes, I'll try as much as possible to answer to the best of my knowledge. So,
Yes.
I'll take it as I am speaking to both the staff and managers or business owners.
Yes, please.
Yes. So, to talk about keeping a healthy workforce now and how your staff come to work after going through so much stress, getting to work, or even so much stress at work and stress going back. I mean, it's Nigeria, so we can't avoid that. I would just like to pinpoint some points, and I'll be starting with talking about how to ensure the first step that you're even living healthy as a person, that you're working in a company. So, because imagine that you yourself in the first place are not even living healthy enough, and then you now combine that with the stress you go through on a daily basis. Now you're going through the stress of going to work and the same thing. So it's demanding on a daily basis, and it leads to wear and tear. And that's when people start to come down with different illnesses and diseases, and they have to go to the hospital. So I'll just be explaining in a summarized form how to ensure that you're living healthy. I mean, if you think about it, everybody wants to live long. Everybody wants to be able to work to the point where they retire, and then they have their money to fall back on and relax. And nobody wants to spend the rest of their years after retirement nursing one illness or the other. But sadly, what we see these days are people that have worked tirelessly during their middle age, and then when they are now in their elderly age, they start to nurse different diseases that could have been, I mean, I can't say that wouldn't have been there, but could have been reduced while they were walking. So the whole point is that's what we see. So the what are the steps, or what steps can we even take to avoid that? Now, I would break that down into 4 important aspects. Now, the first part is to know that your health is in your hands. That's the conviction, knowing that I am responsible for my health. So if you're the type that doesn't even pay attention to your health in the first place, I don't think there's anything that your manager can do or anybody can do that would stop that. So the first thing is you having that conviction that your health is in your hands. So after having that conviction, you go ahead to seek the knowledge that you need to ensure that you're living healthy. Now, what are the aspects of healthy living in the first place? We're talking about your personal
Good
hygiene,
food.
your eating habits, your lifestyle, the exercise, how you manage stress. I mean, all that is involved in the act of healthy living. Now, so when I say personal hygiene, what am I talking about? Are you even the one that even observes personal hygiene? Your body or your work environment, is it clean enough to prevent you from coming down with any illness that's going to affect you in the first place? So that is personal hygiene. Now we're talking about what you eat, your eating habits, very important. What are you eating? Are you the type that only eats fatty food, junks, or you hide under the umbrella of I am busy, I'm too busy to get something good to eat, I'm just going to eat this. And before you know it, you're never free. You're always going to be busy and you're always going to be eating that, not knowing that you're indirectly predisposing yourself to problems later on. So your eating habits are very, very important. And then how do you even eat? At what time do you eat? I mean, I understand that Lagos is stressful and then sometimes you even get home so late and everything. But we advise that people eat and early enough. Because I mean, if you're eating by 11, you're eating by 12 a.m., at what point do you want the food to even do what it's supposed to do? The next morning, you're out again, you're doing your daily activities. So it's important that we pay attention to these things. So, what I've said earlier, your personal hygiene, your eating habits. So, these are very, very key for you personally. And then your lifestyle. Are you the type that to deal with stress, you take so much coffee on a daily basis, or you stay awake all night, you don't sleep because you're trying to meet up with the demand? Are you the type that is into alcoholism or smoking just to keep you working, keep you going? So these things that people tend to not pay so much attention to, in turn come and affect your work at the end of the day. Of course, if your lifestyle is not in tune with healthy living, then you cannot um, have a healthy workforce. You cannot be a part of that healthy workforce that we're referring to. So it's very important that the first thing is ensuring that you're living healthy. Pay attention. I mean, how many people check their blood pressures, and how often do they even check it? Do you even know what your sugar level is? A lot of us don't even pay attention. We only go to hospitals when we're ill, and it's not supposed to be so. You also need to, I mean, that's why insurance companies, including Leadway Health, has introduced annual medical check. So we do annual medical check. So you can, I mean, even if it's just once a year, check what how your internal organs are doing, your kidney, your heart, um, I mean your liver. So we do all these investigations for you on a yearly basis to ensure that you're still in check. And then you do your annual medical check. You have that record with you that okay, this is my last investigation results, so I am sure that I am okay. So we're not waiting till when you eventually fall ill, or when
When
you're
there's
rushed
something.
into the emergency room because you've been under stress and you've been taking coffee, you've been taking alcohol just to keep up and produce the results. And the truth is, your managers or your management might not even know how much you have to put into the job to ensure that you have the results that is desired. So you're only just killing yourself. And at the end of the day, if anything happens to you, the truth is the job is still going to continue. So
Absolutely.
that's why I said the most important thing is the conviction, making sure that you know that your health is in your hands. So it's what steps are you now going to take to ensure that you live healthy, to ensure that you live long, to ensure that when you're done working, you can sit back and enjoy what you've worked for all your life. So it is important, and I cannot even overemphasize the importance of healthy living. Now, another thing is how you manage stress. Very, very important. I mean, so a lot of people don't even understand the definition of stress in the first place. I mean, so it's actually a feeling when a person perceives that the demand is exceeding the resources the person has to meet up with that demand. I mean, that's what everybody describes as stress. But the truth is, there are things that we refer to as good stress, and there are things that we refer to as bad stress or distress. So there are some stress that you would go through indirectly, but they push you to be like a better person. For example, getting a new job, getting married, or beginning a new job, like I said, or making new friends. Yeah, it pushes you a little bit of stress, but it is good stress. Now, there's now something we call distress, which is what the negative stress that is caused as a result of strain, trying to meet up with deadlines, trying to keep up, even with everything that is going on at home. You're also coming to work, and work is also giving you a lot of stress. So a lot of people now do not know how to manage that stress. And the truth is, your body can only withhold
Take
or
so much.
withstand that stress, yeah, for a particular point in time. After some time, it cannot fight back, or it cannot help you, and then you're sick, or in the worst case, only God knows, you're rushed into the emergency room and everything, because you do not, or you have not initiated or learned of different ways, or ways that would help you manage stress. So I'll just give a little hint on different ways. Now, the ability to control a matter lies in understanding it. So you first need to know what is stressing you. Is it work? Is it how you do your work? Is it the quantity of work that you're getting that is stressing you? Or is it going home? Or is it something at home? So you first need to sit down and analyze and understand what is the cause of the stress. Then make sure that you're not compensating. Now, what I mean by compensating is when you have to use stimulants, when you have to take caffeine, when you have to take drugs to keep yourself awake, just to make sure that you're meeting up with that deadline. So make sure that you're not compensating. And when I say this, a lot of people say, why would you say that? So I tell people that at some point you need to learn how to say no. It might sound somehow to the managers like, how will you tell me no? I'm telling you do this. You can't tell me no. Now, I'm not saying you come off rude and say that, oh, no, sir, I'm not going to do it. It's, sir, this, you asked me to do this and this and this, and I must say that it is becoming overwhelming. It's beginning to rub off on my health or my personal life or something. So it's more of just coming to an understanding, knowing how to pass that message across. Learn to say no. You don't have to come off as refusing to do the work. It's just learn to say no when you feel like it is overwhelming. And then humor is important. What do you do in your leisure time? What do you do for fun? Are you the type that likes to engage in sports, exercises, watching movies, hanging out with friends? You need to learn to take out time. It doesn't matter how busy you say you are. It's very important that you also look for an opportunity. Do you just like to watch news in the evening when you get back from work? Just something that keeps you going, something that just takes your mind off that stress. I also tell people, like, while you're working, what do you do? Do you just sit down when you get to work in the morning, you're on your seat and you work till night or till evening, you're on the same seat? You don't stand up to take a walk, you don't go for a tea break, you don't go to interact with your colleagues, just so you can manage that stress at the point trying to meet up with that particular task. So you just take a break. It doesn't have to be long, just something to take your mind off it. Now, recently, Leadway Health was contacted to come and do some form of aromatherapy for a particular company. Yes, we do those kind of things. So we've learned that aromatherapy kind of helps reduce stress, paying attention to the ergonomics at work, how the staff sits, how everything is arranged, just all these mindfulness exercise at work, just to keep people distracted and at the same time still concentrated on work. So it's just more of combining both. And then the aromatherapy is just releasing oils in the company. It's not something that chokes. It's just to relax you and make sure that you're not tensed 24/7. You're working, you're going home, you're tensed. You're on the road home, you're on the road to work, you're tensed. So these are just different ways that we've tried to incorporate or help companies to manage the health of their staff. And if it seems like it is getting overwhelming, it is never too late for you to seek help. I mean, it's why we have different provider network across the country where you can go in, tell them you need to speak to someone, whether it's a psychiatrist or a psychologist or just a doctor, and just explain how you feel, talk to them, get advice from people. I mean, not bad advices in this case, just talk to people, let them know how you feel at that moment, because there are several consequences of unhealthy living. And if I must say, a major part of that unhealthy living, apart from hygiene and food, is how you manage your stress. So if you're not managing your stress properly, it doesn't matter whether you're eating healthy, it doesn't matter whether you have a hygiene, it will still rub off, because at some point your body will not be able to handle it. So I must say that these are the important aspects that you need to pay attention to. Now, personally, you also need to work on building resilience. Work is always going to be tasking. The stress is always going to be there. How do you make sure that you're always prepared to handle that stress? It's all about building emotional resilience, training and retraining yourself, writing down your weak points and your strong points, and trying to improve on yourself to make sure that you're better equipped to meet up with the job. I mean, people switch jobs, people get promotions, and with each promotion or with each new job comes new task, new opportunities, new responsibilities. So you need to make sure that personally you're working on yourself, trying to build your resilience, as that is a major factor in also helping you manage the demands from your employers or your managers. So I'll just stop here. I believe I've said a lot of things already, and I hope that it would actually help someone today. So yeah, thank you very much, Bumi, for the opportunity.
I was trying to get in a wording edgewise, but I mean, you were saying quite a bit that was important, but I did try to get in a wording edgewise because I needed Kaosara to be able to speak to some of the things that you mentioned in terms of so I know one of the things that you mentioned, and somebody has asked. Let me just scroll up. I think it's important so that Kaosara can speak to that really quickly, and then we'll go to the last question because our time is fast spent. So a LinkedIn user, I can't see the person's name. It says, hang on, let me just read it out and then I can post it. It says, how do you manage all of this? I know that it's nice to eat early, exercise, among other things, but how do people manage this? For example, the staff leaves the office at 5 p.m. but doesn't get home till 10 p.m. and then he eats an all, yet he goes through this 5 days a week. What tips do you have for such staff? And Kaosara, I need you to speak to that because I know that you're into all the healthy living things, you know, using honey to eat, garlic and things. Guys, you need to see when she's mixing her mixer inside the cup. It's a serious matter for Kaosara. So can you just, just speak very quickly to this and then we can move on to the last question.
Okay. You are putting me on the spot. Okay, Dr. Olumuyiwa. Thank you for that insights. Well loaded. I even have a few of my points that you've already mentioned. I love that. There are good tips to help employee and the generality of people. So on the question, Bumi, it is what it is. We find ourselves in this situation where if everybody is tensed up, everybody is overworked. We have to meet with deadlines. We have to meet with all this. And Muyiwa said something around resilience. We are in it already, so we need to manage ourselves. So you might know that I have here, I have three how to managing burnout. 3 how to managing burnout. And the first one is recognize. The second one is reverse, and the third one is resilience, which Dr. Olumuyiwa has spoken about at length. So recognize is that's the stage this person that is asking question is. That's the stage we are all in it together. We are battling with this. This is the one we have to manage. So when you recognize what is causing you stress, you'll be able to manage it. And that's the second how. That's the second how, which is reverse. How do you want to undo this? So you have to wake up very early. When you are going back, you face traffic when you are going back. How do you manage it? Because the traffic will always be there until we have a very good, until we have good leaders, or to have good transportation system. So how do you want to manage it? And that is where I go to the third one, to build resilience around stress. How do you build resilience? Because they are what they are. They can't go away. Maybe tomorrow. At the moment, they cannot. So what do we advise? Is for you, why going through all this, is for you to socialize, be with people that you love, speak up, just engage in discussion, make fun out of this. Make fun out of this. You can try and look at your itinerary. Yes, humor. Look at your itinerary and see which one can you outsource. Which one can you outsource to reduce the pressure, because there are a lot of things that we need to do, and we'll have the same 24 hours. You can't get more than that. That's universal. So how do you want to manage your 24 hours? And that's way of building the mental toughness, the resilience that Dr. Olumuyiwa talked about. So how do you want to limit negative thoughts? How do you want to limit friends that are always speaking ill of you, that are always giving you negative remarks? How do you want to stop saying them? So you have to manage it, because they will still be happening. All this will be happening. How do you want to keep fit? So Dr. Olumuyiwa mentioned exercise, because those things you are talking about is happening to everybody. So our ability to recognize, your ability to reverse it, and your ability to have resilience around it is what makes you makes you fit mentally, physically, and emotionally. So how do you want to set boundaries? And I love that a lot.
So essentially,
set boundaries.
Essentially, Aisha, you're saying that all of these challenges that we're facing is common to man, is common to all of us.
Yes,
so each person
everybody
needs to find what it is that will work for them, because what is working for you, if I'm understanding what you're saying, what is working for you may not necessarily work for the next person.
Absolutely.
I hear you.
Yeah. So you set boundaries. What was your limit? What's your limit? So we have people that can work for the next 6 months without breaking down, and we'll have somebody every month. If you go beyond that limit, if you go beyond that boundary, you experience burnout. So recognize it, reverse it by knowing your limits, know when to stop. So I remember during the lockdown, I experienced burnout, a very terrible one at that. And this is me. And while I was managing it, I told one of my daughters, when it is 9 p.m. during this period, can you just take my laptop off me? Because I know my limits. Sometimes I'm going beyond that boundary, and I can't stop it. So at that point, I need an accountability partner, and that I find in one of my daughters and say, when it is 9 p.m., can you just take this off me? And you will hear my daughter, Mommy, it's already 9 p.m. Mommy, close this. I'm going to take it off you. And that really helped during that time. So it's for you to set your boundary, know your limits, and then take a break as well. So if you need to rest. If you need to go watch films. If you need to go to beach or anywhere, team bonding, family outing, and the rest, just to create a balance emotionally, physically, and mentally. That's all I can say for now. Thank you, Bumi.
Thank you very much, Kaosara.
Sorry.
Well, there's a question here.
Okay, if I can just chip something in before we say that, I just want to buttress on what she said. So on the other hand, from the managers and the business owners, I would also like to advise that they key into the employee wellness program. It's just a mental health program. I mean, it's one of our key things here at Leadway Health that we do too. So it's all in an effort to get help for the employees as regards the mental health, help them manage stress. So you can key into that program so your staff can have somewhere they can run to also seek help as regards the mental health, stress management, and also building resilience. So I'd advise that business managers also key into that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I've been just showing up quite a few of the comments that are resonating with our audience here. I have an Adekoya that is asking if Leadway Health covers spa treatments and gym access on their corporate plans.
Yes, definitely. So yes, I can take the question. Thank you very much for that question. So yes, we do have gym centers and nutrition centers too. So what we do is we have a network of gyms across the country that we've contracted and included in the plan. So when corporate companies or corporate plans are bought, there are opportunities and access which are actually limited depending on the plan the person is on. You can have access to gyms, either the full coverage or discounted rates, or nutrition centers where you can get smoothies and all these healthy fruits that you would need, when I was emphasizing on healthy eating. And also the spas are also available. So yes, we have them on our plan.
Brilliant.
You can always contact us and they will give you the details so you have an idea and you can key into that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Muyiwa. Very quickly to the last question. We're completely out of time. If you could just give me short feedbacks on this. What should one, Muyiwa, this question is for you. What should one consider when choosing a health plan? What are the things you need to look out for when choosing a health plan?
Okay, so like I said earlier, it depends on who is asking the question. So if it's let me use the business owners now. So I would say the corporate plans. So the first thing I said is understanding your workforce, what kind of staff, what type of staff, or age range of staff, what health condition. I feel like that's one of the reasons why people key into the pre-employment plans. So you can kind of have a basis of the health conditions of your staff. So I feel like you need to understand what kind of staff you have, the staff at large. Then that would help guide you on what type of plans you want to put them on. So we know that there are different grades, different levels in a company. Everybody cannot be on the same plan, but it's very important that the least plan that is being bought is one that can cater for the basic needs of every staff. I mean, for example, if you are putting your staff on a plan where they are only entitled to some care, and then in an example, when they have emergencies in those cases, are they able to get care when they need those care if there's an emergency and they're not covered for that service? So my point here is ensuring that the lowest plan now can cater for the basic need of each staff. Then we graduate upwards. So depending on the level, you buy the separate plans that have different coverages and different benefits. But it's important that you study your workforce, the type of people you have on your workforce, and then you use that to tailor what health plans are available. And also, you're also trying to reduce the complaints, the feedbacks, the negative feedbacks. You're trying to reduce service failures, and this is why I believe that companies get to choose what health insurance companies they're using. For example, here at Leadway Health, we've found a way to digitalize all our processes. We even introduced an enrollee app that enrollees can, after some time, to reduce the turnaround time, can approve some services that they are covered for. So this is just in a bit to reduce the waiting time at hospitals, improving or making sure that going to the hospital in the first place doesn't seem like a burden, doesn't seem like a long process, making it easy for you to access care, making it easy for you to get, when you eventually access care, you can have your drugs delivered to you at your house. You can get pharmacies where you can pick up drugs and everything. So, I mean, I feel like all those packages are things that business managers can key into when buying plans that can cover you both within the country and outside the country. For example, Leadway Health has connections, has hospitals in other countries too, where you can access care. So if, for example, you're on a business trip outside the country, are you covered? Is there health care for you? How long are you going to be there? So what happens if anything happens to you in that particular country? So those are things that I believe business owners can key into, making sure that these packages are well structured, well available for the basic needs of your staff. So I believe that I would also give her the chance to say a few things, so I don't take all the time. Thank you very much.
I think next time you talk and I do this, you just note that you need to wrap it up.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
No problem. We're completely out of time now. Kaosara, just to wrap this up, thank you very much, Muyiwa, for the feedback on that. Kaosara, I just want you to say a few last words on World Health Day, and just what your thoughts are wrapping this up, and from the engagement that we have, if you're going to leave some your last words on this, what would they be?
Okay. Thank you, Bumi. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so happy and I enjoy every bit of this discussion. So I would like to close by using a Mani's quote that says, if health is your brand, then it all starts with having your workforce health at heart. It all starts with that. So when you have your health as a brand, then it starts with your workforce. So I would like to advise the HR managers available here and across, and also the business owner, that having a happy workforce, a committed, healthy workforce is very, very vital to the success of every organization. We can't get it wrong. The return on investment is huge. The return on investment is huge. When you have a healthy workforce, you have a motivated workforce, they are agile, they are always present in the office, the sick rate is reduced, absenteeism is reduced, productivity increased, and at the end of the day, it impacts our bottom line of every organization. Thank you. I really appreciate this invitation, and I enjoy every part of this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaosara. Muyiwa, any last words?
Well, I feel like I've said a lot, but I'd just like to remind everyone of the importance of healthy living. I mean, well, in a time where we're just, I would say, coming out of a pandemic, if I would say that. So It's very important that we ensure that we have healthy lifestyles, and ensure that we also try to drive that down to the workforce. Every enrollee, every staff right now, employee, is entitled to a healthy life. Not just because the person is working for your company at the moment, but also because the person is going to grow and also retire at some point, and you don't want the person to start regretting everything the person did while putting in work for your in service of your company. So yeah, please pay attention to that. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Bumi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muyiwa, for joining us. Thank you, Kaosara, for being here. Very exciting conversations, very exciting times. I think one of the things that stood out for me was when Kaosara, was saying how you just need to speak up. You need to tell someone who's going to tell someone who's going to tell someone, until the things that you're talking about until it gets to the right ears, until the things that you're talking about are brought to the fore and attended to. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen in the next month or the next year, but if you keep talking about it, I can't remember who it was that said, there is nothing as beautiful as an idea whose time has come. And when the time for your idea comes, when the time for this thing that you're complaining about or talking about or trying to draw attention to, when the time for it comes, nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. In fact, when the opportunity comes, it would almost seem as if you are not the one that thought about the idea originally. And I've seen it happen time and time again. It will blow up in such a way that you're not even going to realize that you are the one that said so in the first place. Yes, Zoe, Leadway now has an HMO. We do have an HMO, and we're very excited about it. Leadway Health is our latest baby.
Leadway Health, yeah.
Yes, it's our latest baby. What's the tagline for health, for wealth, for more?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the tagline.
Yes,
for health, wealth, and more.
And more.
Yes, for health, wealth, and more. So yes, if you want to reach out to us at Leadway Health, they're going to put up the advertisement now. You will see our contacts. Please reach out to us, and let us support your employees. Let's support you to create an environment that is worthwhile, health-wise, for your employees and for your business. Because as Kaosara said, the dividends multiply; they are infinite. Because if they're healthy, if they're happy, they're going to stay longer. They're going to stay committed. They're going to stay focused on the goals of the business, and everybody, is satisfied and happy all around. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was so good to see you all. Zoe, Benedict, Ebimomowe. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. Ebimomowe. He had, very interesting comments to make. Thank you so much. Ajibola, Bukola Olawale, Fidel Adogo, Femi Ajitomobi. I keep Olawale, Oduto. Thank you, everyone. I can't mention everybody here right now, but thank you so much for joining us. Happy World Health Day. Remember, as Muyiwa said, your health is in your hands. It is you.
Absolutely.
You know your body. You need to pay attention. If you have not started taking your BP every morning, go and buy a machine and start measuring your BP every morning, because it is a silent killer. It doesn't give you a headache.
Yes.
That's why you see people are driving on the road and he say he slept, he didn't wake up, or he was driving, he parked. He's the one that drove himself to the hospital or drove herself to the hospital, and then they get there and they die. That's what happens, and they find out that their BP is through the roof because they're not paying attention to their health. They're not paying attention to what they're eating or to exercise. You know what works for you. Find something fun to do. Play tennis, learn to dance, learn a new skill, have fun with your children. Get your children to be an accountability partner for you, like Kaosara's daughter is her accountability partner. Agree with someone to snatch your laptop from you or your computer from you, or switch off the light or whatever when you need to rest. It is so important, especially in these uncertain times. Once again, I wish you an amazing health. I wish you good health. I wish you an amazing World Health Day. And I look forward to the next time when we get to do this. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.
Do you need a healthcare plan that listens to you? Be assured, we've got you. For us, as always, this is about impacting lives. And to launch our journey into this exciting ground, we created Leadway Health as the partner you need. Leadway Health adds new dimensions to health insurance as you know it. The services are flexible and mobile. Now, let's talk about the plans. The Leadway Group Health Plan targets macro enterprises, corporates such as local and multinational companies, agencies, and other bodies. Take, for example, Rockwell Company, whose HR representative, Musa, wastes a big part of his work hours sorting billing issues. The Leadway Group Health Plan stops that and will ensure Musa, and by extension, Rockwell Company, will no longer have to worry about mix-ups and long conflict resolutions. Most of our health insurance plans come with baby wellness programs and multi-trip travel insurance with COVID-19 cover. In addition, we offer free employee assistance programs to keep employees out of the hospital. This includes added benefits that cover psychological consultations for insomnia, depression, and other conditions relating to mental wellness. This gesture also extends to free psychological evaluations during recruitment. Our onboarding process is seamless and stress-free for you to opt in, so you can keep track of your health and insurance status.
For more information and questions, call 01-280-1051 or visit our website at www.leadway.com. You can also send us an email at healthcare@leadway.com.
Invest in the peace of mind you deserve today, only with Leadway Health.